just to hone in on how important mindset is, right? Because we can, we work on the physical by the nutrition that we choose, the food that we choose. But really, the key is the mindset. That's what drives everything that we do in this journey. That's what I want to focus on. So, did anybody get a chance to see that on the Facebook page? The little why mindset matters, the thoughts, feelings, actions, and the results thing that I posted. Okay. Well, I apologize. I can't share my screen. I don't have that capability, but if you get a chance, go out to the Facebook page when we're done, because it's a really good, it's a really good thing that I found. And in fact, I'm going to print it out and just keep it, I like to have visuals around me, and it might be a good one to have on hand as we start the new cycle and detox, but I'll read it for you just really quickly. It essentially is just like a little chart. It starts the why mindset matters. It starts with our thoughts, right? And it says the cycle begins with your immediate thoughts about a situation or circumstance. These are the things you tell yourself about the situation, right? So we know our thoughts, our mind gets turning, whether no matter what it is we're dealing with. Then you move into feelings a lot of times. Those thoughts trigger emotion and influence the way you feel. This could produce negative or positive emotions depending on the thoughts you had, right? So our thoughts move into feelings and then move into actions. It says the emotion you feel drives your actions. Depending on the emotion you're feeling, these actions could be in line with your goals or non-supportive. Wow, so true. Then you move into results. The actions you take will determine your results. Positive actions will drive you towards your goal, while non-supportive actions will keep you stuck. Wow. I know we all can relate to that. I've heard this from everybody many times somewhere in our conversations. I know we all can relate. I know I can. So it just really breaks it down. And I love things like this that I can find, like I said, that just keeps it simple. You read it, it's there, and it just makes a lot of sense. And that's what we deal with in this journey of Fit and Focused. So mindset. So why is mindset more important, or very important, we should say, not maybe the most important, but why is it important? It's just because even though, like I said, we can use our nutrition, exercise, to accomplish some goals, but it's the mindset is we have to be in the right headspace. We have to be in the right mindset to be successful in our journey. And it says mindset is key because it will carry you through when the going gets tough. Right? We've shared some tough situations that we are faced with, and choices and emotions and thoughts. And so it's really, if we can get our mindset in a good place and know that that is the first battle that we have, it can lead to success. So let's break this down even more really quickly. I just want to touch on a few things, just some tools or some things we can do and think about as we prepare our mindset. So what can we do? Number one, redirect your focus, right? So one way to do this, so what are we redirecting our focus from? That's an individual answer, probably, because whatever we've been focusing on, let's just redirect it. It's probably different for each of us, right? So what is a way we can do that? One way, what Angie provides for us in this Fit and Focus program is a journaling resource, right? Write down the food that you eat, write down your schedule, what time you're going to eat it, and so forth. And the easiest way to start this journaling is in the detox, because the detox is very simple. You're choosing one fruit and you're choosing one meal, but you're eating the fruit twice a day, you're eating the meal twice a day, and then you track your water. It's very simple, but we have to be able to put it into action. We have to use it, right? So if you've not done that in this past cycle, I would highly recommend trying it, because for one, it's the accountability. Number two, if you have chosen a food item that you realize, that doesn't feel so good, that's where you can start building that awareness of what foods are agreeing with you and what foods are not agreeing with you. And I'll use myself as an example. I used to love pork. Oh my gosh. Pork steaks, bacon, pork chops. I don't care. Any kind of pork. Pulled pork. I loved pork. But when I started this program and I have gone through my journey, I have realized pork does not work well in my body. It has wreaked havoc, and I didn't even know it. I mean, I knew I was miserable in certain times of my life, right? But I didn't know that pork was playing a factor. But I have discovered that now. And through the journaling, I can go back and go, oh, I ate pork that day. Ooh, and I felt sick. Maybe I better not eat that. And I don't eat it anymore. I just do not, because I've tried it over, like, no, maybe that was just a one-time situation. And I would try pork again. No, it literally just makes me sick. So journaling is good. It keeps you accountable. It helps you to learn foods that work and don't work. So that's something good. You can even journal, even, in our journaling resource, it talks about, or Angie gives us a space there where we can talk about our emotions that day. What's going on that day? Why did you go choose this bag of chips? What's going on? Are you stressed? Is it your job? Anyway, again, journaling can help pick this apart for you as you go through this journey. So that's one way to redirect your focus. This is a really good one. I love this. Choose sustainability over speed. And the way I say that is slow and steady wins the race. I used to tell myself that all the time. Slow and steady wins the race. Kind of like the tortoise and the hare, right? That little story. Slow and steady wins the race. Any kind of program, a weight loss program that I've tried, and I tried to do it fast, because we want results right now, right? I was always that way. I needed results now. I don't care what program it was. If I didn't get results immediately, I wasn't doing it anymore. No, no, no. I have learned slow and steady and consistency gets results. You have to stay with it, because we're going to fall sometimes. We're going to, lose focus sometimes, but to stay steady and steadfast really helps. So just, that's another thing. And then the third thing I want to say, again, is just the consistency. So again, we're going to experience roadblocks, or we're going to experience, things, we're going to be blindsided sometimes by something. Maybe our emotion our emotions about a situation overtakes us. Before we know it, we're going, without even thinking. I've done that many times. I have eaten something, not even realizing it. I would just shove it in my mouth and just to make myself feel better. So we have to be consistent in our choices. So drinking enough water every day. When we're able to be physically active, usually in the detox, it's not recommended because our body is, flushing out the toxins, trying to we are operating on very few calories during the detox. But when we are able to start adding in some movement, certainly being consistent in that, it helps our mental state, our mental health, moving in that, but it also helps to move our digestive system as well. So just being consistent in those things. But there's a lot of things we can do to help keep our mindset in the place we need it to be successful. So I wanted to offer up some of these things, and I'll even, just for us to think about, like I said, and to prepare, right? Prepare our mindset. It's so important. So I want to open it up and just ask some questions. So I want everybody to think back, maybe in the past, at some of your mindset challenges you may have had in other weight loss journeys you've been on, right? So here's a couple questions for you. In your past weight loss journeys, how did you feel? Right? So how did you feel about that journey? How did you feel during the journey? Did you think you could do it? Did you really think you could do it? Right? And then the second question, were you discouraged by slow or fluctuating weight loss? Did the scale discourage you? So I just want to ask those two questions. Is anything coming to mind for anybody? How did you feel? During your, because I guess maybe I would think that we've all been, well, maybe that's my first question. I apologize. Have we all been on other weight loss journeys before this? Have we all struggled with weight most of our lives or a period of our lives? So I guess we can agree on that. We've tried other things, right? So what have you tried and how did you feel going through those journeys or journey? Pam, you trying to come off mute?
Yeah,
all right.
I'm trying. I thought of two situations. They're way back. One was when I did Weight Watchers when I was a young mom, and being in a group and having accountability. I liked doing that. It was a positive thing for me, even though I was very busy. I took the time because I felt it was important.
Okay.
So I really think if we value it and if we feel it's a priority, then we'll do it. And like you said, did I think I could do it? Yeah, because I was around people who were doing it. I was surrounding myself with even strangers that were doing it. Then the second one, and I did really well. And so then at IU downtown, we did after New Year's, we did a 16-week contest, and I won the contest for losing the most weight. And of course, I was around people who I worked with every day. We were all doing it together. So there is, for me, it's very helpful to be around a group of people who are doing it with me, so that they are they're committed to it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Truly, they're like a group that are really truly, as Angie might say, got some skin in it, and they're committed to it. And I felt a sense of great accomplishment.
Mm,
So
that's good.
that's what came to my mind right away. It's just,
Yeah.
besides
Yeah.
being in
Mhm.
my first round in Food Fighters in 2020,
Mhm.
um, I felt really um, accomplished. I felt a sense of accomplishment, and I felt
Mhm.
better, healthy. I felt healthier.
Mhm. Yeah. Perfect. That's good. Thanks for sharing that. And I love that you're saying community or around other people that are doing, trying to accomplish the same goals. In terms of just getting healthy. Again, the detail of our goals is different for everybody. Our whys are different, but we're all still trying to move forward to reach a goal. And that's even just, and I'm glad you're saying that, Pam, because that's another thing I wanted to highlight is to show up every day. Because I think we've talked about that before, even showing up to these calls. And I know work situations or schedules don't allow you to, but I know you've said that, Carol. So that's totally understandable. But even just listening to the replays and staying plugged in, that's what it's about, staying plugged in, even though you might hear some of these tools and go, okay, yeah, I can do this. I don't necessarily need to jump on the call. And and we all have circumstances where we may not be able to on certain days, and there's no judgment, no condemnation. But the truth is, when we stay plugged in to something, the results are always better, it seems. I mean, and there's probably statistics on that, I'm sure, but I know, and that's what we are here. We are the community. We are people. We are the ladies who are trying to reach, similar goals and a common goal. But staying plugged in, because it's about you at that moment. It's not about any of us. It's about you making a commitment to yourself to stay plugged in, to stay focused, to stay on board for you. So just, I'm glad you said that, Pam, because I wanted to kind of just remind us of that. I have to be reminded. There's days that I go, oh, I'm not going to jump on today. Well, yes, I am, you know, but just staying consistent with that and plugged in. But did anybody else have any thoughts? Angie?
Um, I'm glad you're going into this today, Catherine, because that's what I'm doing. I went to Facebook and I printed,
Oh,
I did a
good.
screenshot. Like that's all you have to do is do a screenshot, and then I printed, because that's what I'm doing last night and today is I'm setting up my planner going forward, and I'm creating it myself. And so this is going into my
Good.
planner, and then
Good.
I'm creating by the way, just a side note, if any of you are interested, if you go to 101planners.com,
Hmm.
what they have on there free is unbelievable. And no matter what kind of planner, but if you want to create something yourself, like right now, I'm working on, as you're talking, I'm thinking habits. I need a habit tracker of my water, of my walking, and so I'm trying to do that. So if you want to create your own stuff, or even your own notebook, don't even call it a planner, go to 101planners.com, and you can do any size, you can do it. So anyway, there's a couple things that come to mind. Is for me, it is mindset. It really it really is mindset. Everything starts with mindset, like you're saying, and so that's where I am. And I don't want to say struggling, but where I am the last few weeks in preparation for our new dogs. I have really tried to figure out what do I need that to look like for me personally. And so I'm glad you just brought up too, you said something about our own goals, our own, what it is for us. And I'm wondering, and I apologize because obviously I was kind of for those days. I don't know if you guys have done this, but have we done anything where we have really looked ahead and written up in writing and said and presented it to one another and said, this is my plan. This is what I want for
Mhm.
myself moving forward, especially as we hit January 1st and we get this new influx of people. Because I've been thinking for me, that would really be helpful because of the
Mhm.
accountability. And just like you talked about, I agree. I've only done well when I have accountability. Um, but going into the next part, I'm going to be doing things a bit differently than everybody else. Like I will just share with you, ladies, I don't want to do I don't want to do 21 days of detox. I don't think, like, I don't want to do that. I want to move forward into my new lifestyle,
Mhm.
if you will. And
Mhm.
for me, I really am going and I'm trying to lay out what does that plan look for me for the rest of, like, if I like, can I really get this to be my lifestyle? And if so, for me, I'm thinking a 5 to 7 day detox. That is,
Mhm.
I want to be able to live where I know every whatever I set is 5 to 7 day detox. And then I move
Mhm.
into what it is so that it is a lifestyle for me, not just a weight loss program. I really need this mindset of this is my healthy lifestyle and stop thinking about it as weight and really focus on health. And like I
Mhm.
told you, Kath, I mean, those two pictures to me, yeah, there's the weight, but it's like it is like the health, the change in your health. You were
Mhm.
just radiate. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just amazing. Like you see your healthiness
Mhm.
change in that picture that you
Mhm.
posted for me.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm sorry to take that up, but I that's where I am at right now, ladies. That's what I'm struggling with is looking forward to this next January 1st and going, how do I make this a
Mhm.
lifestyle, a health lifestyle? And so I didn't
Mhm.
know if you guys were interested in like writing up plans and saying, look, this is just my personal plan and I want to put it out there so that you all know and can hold me accountable to it. I don't know.
Mhm. No, I like that. And we can ask Angie about that because I think if she has a plan for something like that, I know we have done that in the past where the accountability that we do share with one another is when she gives us the like the daily planner, the fillable daily planners, and we all put in there what we're eating, you know, our food plan for the day, like what our weight is, and then we kind of do it every day for the detox. We have done that before and shared it with one another. So it sounds like that's what you're referring to. So maybe that's something that she'll do again. But I think you're going even deeper in terms of, okay, maybe even a long term, right? How you're changing your mindset from you're on a diet, changing that to healthy living, right? And I think that is certainly I was talking about evolving yesterday. That's how we evolve in our journey, because that's what I hear you saying. You're now evolving to, okay, I'm ready for this to be long term. I'm ready for this to be healthy, not a diet, right? Because diets typically are short term. You know, that's what they end up being when you're in that mindset. This is just a short term diet. When I'm done with this diet, I can eat whatever I want. And that defeats all of your success, right? So, yeah, moving into healthy living is what I hear you saying. So, yeah, I mean, that's something, I mean, I'd like to think about that, Angie, to see what that would even look like for me. How could I write that down? What could I come up with? Because I know for me, I even I feel like, I mean, I reached my goal this year in terms of getting to my daughter's wedding. That was really driving me, you know, because I thought, oh no, I'm not going to be that big at my daughter's wedding, you know. So I met that goal and I felt good about that, but now that's over. So now what? So like you, I have to say, okay, there's no events coming up per se, but I still want it to be a healthy lifestyle. So what do I do now? What can I look toward now? How can I create this now? And that's why I think we've talked a lot about our whys change sometimes and they evolve and they, you know, so that's what I hear you saying. So, okay. I mean, I'd like to think about that a little bit, Angie, and I could be on board with you on that. I have to figure out what that would look like. You're right. But yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff. Carol, what about you? Did this bring up anything for you?
Oh, yeah. But the thing about here is I don't cook or grocery shop anything for the house. My husband does all that. So he and I were talking last night and our agreement of what our new lifestyle is going to look like. And it's like, there's a peace that comes with that. And
Mm,
I feel a peace that beginning January 2nd, that's what our date is. And I'm following this. Um, and I know what I can do from what he cooks, what I can and can't, and things like
mm,
that. But it's some lifestyle changes, but I like the fact of the lifestyle because what's the use of losing everything if you're just going to at the end of it, okay, well, that's all done, and stuff. I signed up for this race. So now I've put that in my calendar. I've already, I do everything electronic, so it comes up on my thing, showing me, reminding me, hey, I have to work out. So in that matter, and I'm like, all right, I know what my day off is, and that's going to be Sundays. Monday through Saturday, I'm doing something physical. And here this past couple months, I've only been doing 3 days. So
mm,
now I'm increasing that and stuff like that. So I'm making those changes. But
mm,
it things to me forward. I've done Weight Watchers. I could never get to the meetings. I could only do them online. So I could not go to where they were because when I got off of work, I live in DC. When you leave work, you plan 45 minutes to an hour for your drive. Don't
right,
even think about it. It is not 7 minutes down the road. So,
right.
but other than that, all is well. No, I'm chewing on this, and I printed it out too.
Oh,
Uh,
good, good.
so I'm putting this in I'm going to put this in a couple places.
Yeah.
So at work and here, so that I'm constantly seeing it. I have vision boards and things like that
Mm, yeah.
that have helped me in the past that I look at to remind me of things
Mhm,
and stuff like that. But
mhm,
no,
mhm.
I'm looking forward to this.
Good, good. I love that. Thanks for sharing. Well, and I want to say one more thing I thought of too, in terms of plugging into our calls, our Zoom calls and so forth. I know for me, sometimes I know I get into like this tunnel vision, right? Tunnel vision that I can't always see or be, I'm not aware of what I'm thinking or doing all the time, right? Because we're in it. I mean, we're in our lives, our space, our environment. But when I have always found it so helpful when I hear other people talk about things or their struggles or whatever, because it makes me think. I hear them and I say, hey, wow, wait a minute. That sounds like that's what's happening with me. And that opens up a door for me to dig a little deeper and see if that's what I've been trying to figure out. But I just couldn't put my finger on it, or I couldn't, really articulate it or understand it, right? So that's to me the power, one of the powers in our community, and just being part of the calls or listening to the calls. Um, that has helped me tremendously because I want to learn, but sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning, right? And then of course I, ask God first. That's one thing we've talked about this year, even on other Zoom calls with Angie, just asking God first. And so I always say, Lord, okay, let me hear what I need to hear so that I can work on me, or whatever, or wherever you have me to be. So I do ask that a lot too. But again, that's just such a benefit I feel in what we do as well, and why it's important to stay plugged in. So, well, all right, ladies, we are 6 minutes over, but this is great. I'm so glad you ladies found that helpful, that little chart or whatever. All right, and I'm gonna just highlight a few more things about this mindset tomorrow. So tomorrow's Friday. Angie will be back on Saturday, and she'll kind of lay the groundwork and the foundation for the detox coming up. And that's when hopefully some new ladies will jump on and she'll introduce the program. But hopefully maybe even in the days ahead, we'll keep talking about mindset and just, you know, insert that along the way, because we just have to stay reminded of how important that is, right? So, but I'm excited that we're all together. Thanks for joining today. I'm excited for the new cycle, and I'm excited for the new year. And I'm just excited. I just want to feel excited. Right? I don't want to focus on any negative. I got a lot of negative I could focus on, but I'm not doing it. It's about redirecting our focus, and I want to feel good and positive. So let's go through our day with positivity and encouragement. And that's all I have. All right, ladies. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. We'll see you. Bye-bye.